Let's go.
It's another K-Town beat.
YouTube. It's your boy, Mr. Outliner. I'm back with this dreadlock chop. Dread chop. We chopping that off, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, he got dreads like really just on the top, but he decided he wanted to transform this thing. So that's what we gonna do. We're gonna chop, sew it. You dig what I'm saying? But anyway, so first thing you want to do is knock the dreads off. Oh, man, it couldn't be me, man. You know, I did this a long time ago, and y'all probably didn't know. I used to have braids back in the day. You know what I mean? But anyway, so I remember when I cut mine off, but you know, it seemed like he been growing his for a while. I didn't get a chance to ask him how long, but that long. You see that? That long. That's how long he been growing on, that long. But anyway, so yeah, you just want to not get the hair down to a length to where you can start to see like the hair pattern and how the hair is gonna grow. You know, you just want to get a good visual of what's underneath it. Then after that, you want to take your 2 guard. You want to take a big guard because still the thing that we're doing right here, we still want to get an idea of what's underneath the hair pattern, the flow, the direction of the hair. So you want to use a big guard. You don't want to go down too small at first because you run the risk of plugging the hair and it's not coming out right. And plus, you have to just gradually work your way down. So I was using the 2 guard right there. We realized that, hey, the 2 wasn't going to work. So, hey, I got the 1 guard now, and I'm using it closed. And I'm just going with the flow pattern of the hair. Now I can actually see it. And, you know, I'm using the comb at the same time to see. Now, on the back side of this, right, you see this is the part we want to pick it out. And, again, the focus, I'm showing you how his hair pattern is going in a circle. So you see the motion of my clipper is going up and around, and down. You know what I mean? So follow the hair pattern is important. And I even use the big guard right there because I still need to see just to make sure. And then after that, once you get comfortable with everything, you come and just lay everything down to where it needs to be. So now the haircut is ready to start to taper, and I'm using my detailers, my wall detailers right here, my trimmers, to make my first guideline. Now I'm setting my first guideline. Now what you might not pay attention to right here, or you can't actually see, is that I'm not actually digging into where the lineup is because I don't want to make it difficult to remove the line. So a lot of times, sometimes people inbox me and say, hey, how do you remove the line? Hey, put it in, use the guideline. When you make the guideline, kind of do it at an angle, like not so much just straight on, and try not to apply too much pressure. Same thing when you're removing this. See, so automatically I have no guard right here, it's open, but you can automatically see that the first guideline is pretty much already almost gone, right? And then so it's easy for us to work out. So the key to getting rid of a guideline is not to make it hard. Don't make a hard guideline, and it's easier to remove. So like I said, it's minimal work. Just don't apply too much pressure, right? Let the clippers do all the work, right? And right here I got my 1 guard, and it's open, or maybe it's halfway. It just depends on you. But if you're just starting out, you're trying to learn, I always tell you to go open and close. Me, I can eyeball it. I know if it needs to be half, if it needs to be a 1/4, if it needs to be all the way open just by looking at it, because I know exactly what the guards do, and I know how to manipulate the clipper to do what I needed to do. But like I said, if you're a beginner and you're trying to learn, you go open to close, right? And you just work that second guideline out that you kind of made, right? because it's just you make a guideline, you take it away, and then keep taking it away until everything blends, right? When you go up the ladder, right? So you go no guard, 1.5 if needed, right? And then you work your way back down with it. 1.5, 1 guard, no guard, trimmer. You know, whatever you set your guideline with. So you go up the ladder and you come back down the ladder, right? Easy thing to remember. So right here, I didn't use a 1.5 guard. So now I'm back to no guard, right? And I'm just using the corners of the blade in order to feather the rest of the guideline out to make it look the way that I need it to look, right? And I'm just using the corner. Just pay attention. I'm using the corner of the blade, right? And I'm steady adjusting, making the blade come closer as I get closer to the bottom of the guideline, right? So that's what I'm doing. I'm making it closer as I get closer to the bottom, because once it starts to close, then I'm working on that bottom guideline that we created to remove it, right? So the more open is the more hair you get that part, I'm sure. And then at the bottom, you know, you just use the close. And right here, I always use clip over comb. I just like using that in these situations. In a lot of situations, I like clip over comb. I used to didn't, you know, incorporate this into my haircuts, but now I do almost on every haircut, because to me it makes the blend that much better, and it saves me a little time here and there, if you ask me. So you see me with my thumb, I'm stretching the skin. Also, another thing that you have to do in removing that guideline is be sure to stretch the skin, because you want to be able to let the blade sit flat. The blade has to sit flat on the guideline. If it's not sitting flat on the guideline, it's also going to be hard to remove. That's why Wall has this blade, right? This is your fade blade, right? So I think I'm using the magic clip right here. No, I'm using the seamless. So you know, the blade that it comes with is great for removing, you know, guidelines, like doing a ball fade, a ball taper, kind of like what I'm doing right here. It's, you know, it's good for that. And then I come back with my detailers and I clean up the rest of, you know, the guideline that I created with this trimmer. And you see me only using the corner of it to remove it, right? So, and also you can stretch the skin part right here too if it's needed. I'm gonna take my thumb. You see my thumb. And sometimes it might not even look like it. You see how I pulled it up, because I want to stretch it, because I want my blade to sit flat. And you see the guideline that we created is actually done, right? And it didn't take that long. This is all real time. I didn't speed it up. This is like 5 minutes, you know, on each side, right? So on this side, we do the exact same thing. Create the same guideline using the same tools. We work our way up the ladder, back down the ladder. Now, here I'll speed it up just a little bit, but you can still watch everything that I'm doing. Remember that when it comes to removing a guideline, once you get towards the bottom, you want the blade to sit flat. Also, you don't want to create a heavy guideline, right? You want to be as light as possible with the clipper. So I'll speed it up a little bit so you can see it and get this transformation underway. Now, when it comes to the lineup, you know what I like to do on the lineup. I like to use my detailing mist, Mr. Outliner. You can go to MR.OUTLINER.com and pick that up. No dot, MROUTLINER.com. Pick you some up. Now, you want to spray the liner. And what this does, right? This allows the scalp in the area to be dry, and it also allows for the hair to stay in place. It's styled to that position. Once this dries, it's gonna stay just like that. And also it's gonna help you create a crispy line. Now you see how high, you see what I'm dealing with right here, right? So one side is definitely higher, and one side goes down lower. So I'm explaining to him that I'm gonna have to bring his hairline up to try to get it to look a certain type of way. Right now, it might start off kind of crazy, but at the end, it's gonna be right? I come under a little bit, and I'm trying to show him that I'm gonna go up, but I'm gonna try to save as much of it as possible. You don't want to go all the way back, right? So it's good when you're starting to do a lineup, and if you see something like this going on with a client, you want to be able to have that consultation with them and tell them, hey, look, this is what I'm doing. I don't want you to say, hey, I did this or that without, you know, your consent, or, you know, something that you're not comfortable with. I don't want to do that, right? So you just want to start the hairline from the middle. Now, a lot of times I tell you I'm not as focused on how sharp it is and things like that. So at first I'm just trying to get a feel for the haircut, right? And like I said, I'm trying to create a hairline for him without pushing him back too far. Yes, I have to push him back a little bit to get the line the way that I think it should look. Now at the end, he was very happy with it, no complaints at all, right? But like I said, it might start off a little rocky, but you know, when you not looking in the mirror, so a good thing to do when you're doing lineups is make sure you're looking in the mirror, because if you're not looking in the mirror, sometimes your eyes in the mirror doesn't line up the same, right? The mirror won't lie to you. The mirror is going to tell you if it's crooked. The mirror is going to tell you that it's crooked. You'll be able to see it, right? And they will too, because that's exactly what they're going to see once you know, show them their haircut, right? So you always want to be in line with the mirror, on point with the mirror. Now right here on the sides, I didn't have to push them back, so you know, I used what he had, you know. So being careful with the vertical bars is another thing. You don't want to like push those back too far, make his edge up too wide, you know what I mean? So wherever there isn't a deficiency, don't make it, right? So I just take my time with that. You see how these detailers, man, these detailers, they hit, right? And so you just want to take your time with it, like I said. So try to make them, you know, as straight as possible. You can kind of make them, you know, slanted or just straight down, whatever you want to do. Everybody have their own style of doing vertical bars and things like that. I don't really get too much into that because I think it's a signature for you, however you do your vertical bars. You know, some people like to do, like I said, just straight down. Some of them like to do it kind of slanted, going back a little bit. You know what I mean? So I don't know if it's a correct way to do vertical bars. I think you should just not push the line up back, right? That's it. So other than that, you good to go. But you see how that taper came out? Once I put that line on it, everything is lining up the way that I needed to. And you know, I cut on that side of the camera just to show you what's really going on. So the lineup is kind of coming together, right? So you come back and we prepare to do the other side. So you just take your time, using the corner of the blade in most instances, the same thing that we do when we're doing the C part of it, you know, and take your time with it. You know, just take your time and go slow. Now you see what the detailing is. You can tell his lineup is already crisp. And yes, we are going to use enhancements, so that's going to make it pop even more. But before that, you see what the detailing mist does. You see how sharp it is. Plus, I got the detailers good. If you don't know how to set your trimmers, I got a video on how to set the detailers, right? And people always ask me, man, mine don't hit like that. Now you can buy these trimmers brand new, the wall detailers, and you can use them straight out the box. They that good straight out the box. For me, I needed to adjust it just a little bit, not too much, and I understand why they didn't put that much sauce on it, because everybody is different. It's like serving somebody, spicy food without telling them. So you can't do that, because people might, it burns their mouth or whatever, you know what I mean? So they couldn't make it super sharp, but they got it set to where it's almost perfect, right? You know what I mean? So they cut straight out the box. If you're looking for a pair of trimmers that you don't have to do much work to, but still get the job done, these are it, fresh out the box. Now you see the lineup, like I said, it's starting to come together. We're starting to get that look. It's starting to come clean. You see that? You know what I'm saying? Then once we put the C on it, the whole taper look, everything I did before that will start to come together. Take your time with the lineup. Make sure you brush the hair down or comb the hair down, and just get it clean, man. You know what I mean? Take your time. This is the most important part of the haircut, if you ask me. So make sure you take your time with it. Now this is the part that where I begin to detail everything, make sure everything is straight all the way across the board. I'm putting my enhancements on it, my hair fiber on it. This is not spray, this is hair fiber, right? So we just making everything uniform, giving it a fuller look and more defined look with this hair fiber. That's what hair fiber does. And it's good. You have different opinions on it. Every video I say, people have different opinions on it, whether he needed it, didn't need it. He wanted it, I did it, it's done, right? So with hair fibers, you just want to make sure it looks natural. That's the thing about using hair fibers. You want a hair fiber that looks natural, right? And you want to use a hair atomizer sometimes, like what I got in my hand, the glass kind, and the spray handle, what the hair fiber is coming out of is a little bit thinner, and the way that it blows out, it disperses out kind of like a dust, right? You know how sometimes when you about to top it and you use their pump that they have, it can come out too much and it's just spraying one patch of it. You know what I'm saying? It's just real heavy, right? So I use the hair atomizer to make it spray out evenly, right? So that's what you want. You're looking for something that's gonna make it spray out evenly, right? So after that, you come back, after you spray them with the hair fiber, you come back, and now you can detail everything. You can make sure everything is lining up. You can get that line, trying to make it sharp, make everything straight. I can see that it's off a little bit to the right, but I will get it together. So yeah, so like right now, I'm critiquing myself, and I'm checking my homework like a math problem, right? Now, sometimes people won't show you this in their videos, and I show you mine. I show you, my good and my bad. You know what I mean? I don't have a problem doing that because everybody's not perfect. You're not gonna always be perfect, but I'm gonna have him perfect by the time I'm done with this cut, though. You know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, I'm looking in the mirror now. I can see, boom, okay, I need to fix this, I need to fix that, right? So, like I said, make sure you use your mirror and, take your time with it. Yeah, so just make sure you're using the corner. You see the corner, you use the corner of your trimmer, it'll line up will come out crispy, cream clean, you know what I mean? But anyway, look, this is the hair transformation. As you can see, the lineup is straight, it's perfect, everything popping. Like I said, you got to take your time with it. Sometimes you have to go back and adjust and readjust and check your homework. You know what I'm saying? But at the end, as long as you get it right, everything cool, right? But anyway, Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. You know how we do it. Also, make sure you leave comments in the comment section. Make sure you let me know how you rate the haircut on a scale of 1 to 10. You know what I'm saying? But until next time, love, peace, and hair grease.